Hello MooseStack family. Over the weekend, I put together a new feature for the MooseStack, which is .env file support. Now when you configure your projects, you'll have access to the following .env files. You have .env, .env environment specific, so dev or prod, along with .env local, used for local development secrets and get ignored in dev mode. In fact, when you run moose prod, it'll pick up the prod file, but it will not pick up a local file even if you've accidentally committed this to your repo. So this now allows us to set environment specific values outside of our moose config toml and outside of environment specific variables. These variables can now go inside of these .env files. So let me go ahead and do a quick demo here for you guys. I already have in my repo here a number of files set up. I have .env, I have .env local, and I have .env dev. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and make these backup files for the time being for dev and local, so that when we start our server, we would expect that this configuration value will get picked up and our dev server will start on port 4100. So let's go ahead and move those files. Cool. Now we can list these files again, right? These are now backup files, and the only environment file I have here is .env. So let's go ahead and start MooseDev. When I start MooseDev here, in a second you'll see that our expected port number 4100 will actually be used for our HTTP server. Cool, there we go. Port 4100 was used. Let's go ahead and shut this down. Next, what I want to do is I want to grab the backup file for .dev and enable that. So let's go ahead and move that back. Right? So env dev to env dev, and let's go ahead and cat this value real quick. Right, so this has the HTTP port configured as 4101. When we start MooseDev this time, we expect that 4101 will be our port. Cool, so here we go. You can see our dev server is now running, and it is on port 4101 as expected. So let's go ahead and shut down our server again. This time we're going to re-enable the local file, which sets the port to 4102. Alright, we can cat that just so that we can see what the actual value is. Alright, so 4102. Now let's run MooseDev. Again, when the Moose server starts, we expect that 4102 is the port being used, since this value would take precedence over dev and over the base.env file. And again, right, here we go, 4102 was used as expected. Let's go ahead and shut down our server again, and we're going to do one more test. This time we're going to supply the environment variable over our command line, and we're going to ensure that system environment variables still take precedence over .env files. So in your Boreal deployments, if you go to environment variables and you set those variables will take precedence over anything else that you set. So here we are, we're going to set the HTTP server to port 4103. We expect that this is going to take precedence over everything else. And there we go, 4103 was used just as expected. So here is our new project configuration using .env files and their precedence.